And staying with news from the US, the White House has admitted that a US Admiral acting under the authority of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth directed a strike on a suspected drug boat near Venezuela.
And this is where the military was reportedly ordered to conduct a second strike to kill the survivors left from the first strike. Now, the White House defended the legality of the attack, but lawmakers from both sides, they have vowed to investigate this strike. The reports of the follow-up attack on the survivors have triggered accusations of a possible war crime. But White House insisted that Admiral Frank Bradley, who currently leads U.S. Special Operations Command, had acted legally and properly in ordering the second strike on the survivors. Listen to this.
You said that the follow-up strike was lawful. What law is it that allows no survivors?
The strike conducted on September 2nd was conducted in self-defense to protect Americans in vital United States interests. The strike was conducted in international waters and in accordance with the law of armed conflict.
Did Admiral Bradley order that second strike because there were still survivors after the initial strike?
Again, as I read for you, Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law. He directed the engagement to ensure the boat was destroyed and the threat of narco-terrorists to the United States was completely eliminated.
The Washington Post recently reported that it was Hegseth who had ordered a second attack to kill survivors clinging to the wreckage. Hegseth has denied the accuracy of the report. However, White House said that Hegseth had authorized Admiral Bradley to conduct these kinetic strikes.
While Hegseth and White House have insisted that the strikes are legal, Pentagon's own law of war manual states that orders to fire upon the shipwreck would be clearly illegal. When pressed about what threat the survivors posed, Levitt urged the reporters to question the Department of War.
Imminent threat would two survivors pose who were clinging presumably to the wreckage of that boat?
Again, as I said, I think you guys are sort of not listening fully to the statement I've provided. Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law, directing the engagement to ensure the boat was totally destroyed and the threat to the narco-terrorists to the United States was eliminated. And for any further questions about his thinking, I would defer you to the Department of War. I obviously wasn't in the room for the
Since September, the US military has launched strikes on boats in the Caribbean Sea and Eastern Pacific Ocean that have killed as many as 83 people without providing proof that these were drug runners.
Amid mounting fears of American military action against Venezuela, U.S. President Donald Trump summoned his top national security officials to the Oval Office on Monday. A senior U.S. official said Trump held talks with top advisors to discuss the pressure campaign on Venezuela, among other topics.
Also, a new U.S. media report said that Trump reportedly gave Venezuelan leader Maduro an ultimatum, and that was to relinquish power immediately during their recent call. However, Maduro declined, demanding a global amnesty for himself and his allies.
Maduro, who accuses Washington of seeking to topple him, told thousands of supporters at a rally in Caracas that Venezuela does not want a slaves' peace.
We want peace, but peace with sovereignty, equality, freedom. We do not want a slaves' peace, nor the peace of colonies. Colony, never slaves, never.
Maduro also danced to a remix of one of his comments during the march.
Peace, forever, forever, forever.
This weird guy. United States has moved the world's largest aircraft carrier in the Caribbean. The U.S. military aircraft are also active at the former Roosevelt Roads Naval Base in Puerto Rico. Video even showed U.S. Marine Corps Harrier II jets taking off. President Trump has declared that the airspace above and around Venezuela should be considered completely closed without providing further details.